Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside the man himself, Phil Sims. And it is trick or treat season. We get closer and closer to Halloween and got to get ready. Hey, big day at the Sims household, no doubt. We're excited about it. We know Big Guy's going to be excited too. He's like the Peyton Manning of trick or treating. He's like the sheriff. You know, he lets everyone know. Yeah, absolutely. You got a cool little vibe that way when you man the door. So it's exciting. We're going to talk about a few of the games this weekend, and we're going to start off with the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New York Giants. The over-under on this game, according to our sponsor here in the bottom corner, FanDuel, has it at 48.5, and the San Francisco 49ers are 2.5-point favorites as it currently stands as we record this show. So thank you to FanDuel, and we're a part of the Believe Sports Network. Big Guy,
Start this thing over.
Can I start? Do I start over or
pick it up?
Okay. So Big Guy, we got the 49ers, we got the Giants this weekend. Where should we start with this conversation for the New York Giants heading into this great matchup against the 49ers?
Okay, first and foremost, I say the game could be an over. I think both of these offenses will play well against the defense they're facing. That's one thing for the New York Giants. As I looked it over, even today I was watching stuff. I'm not a believer in Jaxson Dart. It's off the charts, I believe. And that's one of the reasons why I like this game. It could be high scoring. I think the quarterbacks are playing well, really well. And Jaxson Dart, the fact that he's throwing, being accurate, has the power, and his movement is just what you need. It's not overdone. It's enough, and it makes the defense think. And the 49ers, look, they've been on an emotional roll with Mac Jones as the backup quarterback. And it kind of came apart for them down in Houston. The Houston Texans, that defense, man, it was tough for them. And they couldn't get the Houston offense off the field either, which hurt. So Mac Jones, I know you watched it, Matt. He took some incredible hits in that game, hung in there, and really overall thought he played really solid. But that's just kind of my first thought. I got some thoughts about the Giant defense, which I'll talk about after you say a few things.
After I say a few words. Brought to you by our sponsor, FanDuel. This is Sims Complete, brought to you by FanDuel on Believe Sports Network, Believe Sportsbook. I just made them a betting platform too. Might as well. Everyone else does it nowadays. But excited about this matchup. Really excited to see, of course, dare I say it, is Dexter Lawrence going to just have one of those coming out parties this weekend? Because earlier in the week, right, of course, Carl Banks, saying what he said about the famed defensive tackle for the New York Giants and just his struggles. And, I don't know. I'm excited to see if this just absolutely is going to light a fire for this guy who, let's face it, he's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his career. And when you're getting called out by a guy that, we believe is a Hall of Fame linebacker that played for the very team that he's broadcasting for, I'm really pumped about it. And I think there is room for the Giants to kind of feed off of how last week went against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And really just kind of, I don't know, almost kind of like go out there and get one for the Gipper type of thing for Cam Scatterboo, right? Of course, the Dexter Lawrence thing that's going on with Banks. And then, of course, just, man, how difficult things went against them a week ago for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I say that because, hey, it's another tough task against Christian McCaffrey and that running game, which has struggled this year at times. But, of course, if there is a favorable matchup, you would think the 49ers might try to exploit the rush defense of the New York Giants going into this one.
Okay, a lot there. When I looked at the Philadelphia game and the Giants played, I looked at it and I said, this game was a lot closer than the score indicated. I think, between what you talked about, the pass interference, that was called on the Giant, Darius Slayton, that was terrible. The fumble by Jalen Hurts, just those two plays alone, I think could have just changed how we thought about the game. And also, I never thought I was going to watch a game this year and go, well, the Giants' offensive line is playing better than the Giant defensive line.
Right.
We really said everything during the offseason, do training camp, preseason football. Man, the Giants have a chance because, we weren't even talking about Jaxson Dart then. We were talking about the defensive line. And the defensive line, here's the problem. We need them to be really, really good to cover up for the secondary, which is a little beat up too and whatever, and just not one of the elite secondaries in the NFL. So if the defensive line plays average, let's say average, well, that's going to be bad for the Giants. They're not going to be able to overcome that. And, I think what's given me more hope than anything about this game is the play of the offensive line, the fact that the tight ends now become a part of this offense.
Yeah.
And Jaxson Dart is, man, he's making every right decision and playing, and he makes all the throws, and he's running great. So the Giants, the fact that they lost last week against Philadelphia, the fact that San Francisco's coming in here not a little beat up. Jesus almighty.
Yeah, right.
They're a beat up team. But they got to deal with Kyle Shanahan, and they got to deal with Mac Jones, who I think will probably be the starter again, that he's playing really well too.
And then the return of Coach Saleh, right? Defense coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, returning back to Meadowlands. So that's going to be, I'm sure, an interesting moment for him, being back on the visiting sideline for that way. And the 49ers right now averaging 20 points a game, their lowest total through 8 games since being at 19.3, in 2016. So that's the year that Kyle took over for the San Francisco 49ers as the head coach. So that's pretty interesting. The fact that, offensively, this is their first kind of hiccup during his tenure that way. Big guy as of right now, Brock Purdy. It's kind of like in limbo. I believe he was at a practice field today. Not sure exactly what the extent of what he did. Does that sway your opinion on the 49ers and how they perform this weekend, whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy?
No, it does not. I think Brock Purdy, if he does play, I don't know. Just what I was on with San Francisco, one of the shows out there this morning, and I was listening to them talk about the situation, and it didn't sound like from them that Brock Purdy would be ready to play.
Right.
And he had, what do you call it? He has a sprained toe or?
Yeah, it's turf toe, right?
Turf toe.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. I never had it, thank God. Everybody that has it says it's incredibly painful, and it just limits so much of who you are as an athlete, and especially like any player in the field. But the quarterback's the same. I'm not sure what foot it's on. If it's on his right, then that's even worse because that's the plant foot. So, I just look at this game and the Giants, San Francisco, they are not getting to the quarterback. They're not sacking the quarterback. And that gives you, as a Giant fan, with some crowd noise and something to get them going or whatever, that could help. That it sets up that maybe it's a good time or a good chance for Jaxson Dart and that group to go out and dominate and win the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a big weekend for Tyrone, Tracy Jr., right, and Devin Singletary, who are basically going to be taking over that tandem in the backfield, now replacing Cam Scatterbo as the every down backs. And big guy, just like as an example too, for you, right? Hey, you've been through it all, right? Coming off of an injury and being the guy, but not maybe being in the starting lineup for a few weeks in a row. How rusty did you feel, if you did feel rusty at all, when you got back into the starting lineup? Or did you kind of like, hey, just duck in water, ready to go, and just right back to business as usual for you?
Yeah, it was a different world then, but you just get right back into it. You only want to play and start if you have a good week of practice.
Right.
Everything is judged on practice, which it always was especially under Bill Parcells. Got to have a good practice every single day, and then they determine, are you ready to do it or not?
Right.
And your practice reps can be a little limited because they want to give the other guy a few to kind of keep his rhythm going. That would be Mac Jones out there.
Right.
So, the 49ers, they're doing this. I look at them and almost say, man, they're almost out of gas. How many injuries and situations can you overcome? So if there's a team that you maybe want to take advantage of, that's hard to say when you talk about the Niners because they've been so good. But this is a good spot for the Giants. And if they do lose, it better be exciting and really close. That's the one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yes. Both teams get in a scoring contest. If it gets in the high 20s, something like that, that would I think ignite the Giant fans and make it exciting. And it's going to be a toss up at a point like that. Who's going to win the game?
Yeah, and last week, right, against the San Francisco 49ers, C.J. Stroud had arguably his best game of the season, going 30 of 39 for 318 and 2 touchdowns, a lot of explosive plays through the air, right? Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Noel, Woody Marks, Braxton Berrios, Jaden Higgins, right? So some names maybe that, a lot of fans maybe not be super familiar with. And hopefully, too, the Giants can kind of piggyback off of what they saw, right? If they can protect well against San Francisco and basically against a defense that has a lot of replacements in some key areas, especially, too, in the middle linebacker position without Fred Warner and, of course, without Bosa. Right. But Tatum Bethune has played well at that middle linebacker position, but they definitely were exposed with the fact that they couldn't rush the passer all that consistently last week.
You look at that game, Matt, and I think the Giants protect the passer better than the Houston Texans do.
Right.
And so that, to me, as I saw some of the opportunities that C.J. Stroud had and what he did, all that, I think the Giants will have more opportunities because I think their O-line can help out better than the Houston Texans can.
All right. Well, that gets me excited to hear that from you, Big Phil. And just, hey, should we just pencil it in right now? We're going to pencil it in. We're sharpieing it in, right? New York Giants for the win.
We're going to, we got to, listen, as I do, let's be honest. We do it. We're looking for things that favor the Giants. And that's who we root for, and that's who we are, and that's who we here in this area. And so no use lying. Of course, everybody knows it. You're a homer. Yes, I am, and I'm proud to be a homer. Yes. But
I love it too.
It's going to be good. San Francisco, it's a physical and mental fatigue. That's what I saw when they played the Houston Texans. I know they will rebound a little, but that's still a big trip coming to New York all the way from San Francisco, and to a team right now is equal to them. So should be a fun game.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, I didn't even have to debate you at all whatsoever. As soon as you gave me something good about the Giants, I said, yep, you're right. Okay, moving on. That's all I needed to hear.
Right, that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, what other game we got here?
All right.
Listen.
Yeah. Go.
My desk is an absolute, I'm kind of proud of it because it's a mess.
Okay. And wait. What? Now your desk is a mess, but also to make sure, right, if you're in the New York, New Jersey local area, to go to the game this Sunday because it's Phil Simms Bobble Day.
Oh yes, Bobblehead.
Yeah.
Day, yes.
Are you proud of the fact that you will have a bobblehead given to the fans who attend the game this weekend?
Am I proud? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's an honor.
Hell yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah, no, it's a good honor. I said to somebody, I don't know if they got enough material down there for the size of my head. So, we'll just have to deal with that. But yeah, I'm going to be down there. I'm going to do a little contest with somebody before the game. We're going to give out Super Bowl tickets.
Very cool.
And everything, kind of get this crowd. That's what they do, try to get the crowd going. And I think it's going to be a good, giant crowd. I don't think that loss to Philadelphia made everybody go, oh, if nothing else, the damn Giants are exciting. Okay,
that's right.
The fans are thinking that way, and as long as that game is close, I think the fans can be a factor. So I don't know what the bobblehead's going to do for them, but
when in doubt, you can throw that damn thing on the field.
We'll see how it goes. So.